All right, we're in Orangeville. We're gonna check out this easy cosmetic flip that didn't take a lot of work. Let's go see how it was done. Okay, I'm with Rockstar Investing Coach, Matt James. And Matt, this is a flip that your client of yours did that you worked on him with. And so what are we looking at here?
This is a nice, easy cosmetic flip. Previous owner had owned it 50 years. He unfortunately fell into some health problems and left a lot of stuff in the house. So we went in, took a look at it, realized it just needed some cosmetic stuff. There was a lot of value add projects that we could do to it to make it work for more families right now.
You mentioned something interesting on the negotiation, that how you were able to come in at a lower purchase price than somebody else, but still get it. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so we offered $625,000 in this house. The other offer was $660,000 after winning and finding out from the other agent. But in our offer, we included that we would remove all of the guy's stuff that he couldn't anymore over the 50 years of accumulation and get rid of it for him. So that, I guess, really appealed to them because we actually ended up winning. It was 3 40-yard garbage containers, and it took about a week to empty out the house, but that's $60,000 right there.
Yeah, probably worth the work.
Yeah.
That's pretty profitable week of labor right there. Yeah. How'd you think of doing that?
We just knew that to make the numbers work, we needed to get it at a lower price. And that really was fair market value at the time. But with so many offers and when you're in different negotiations like that, sometimes it does come down to the bigger purchase price. But luckily this one came down to actually the terms of the agreement and what worked better for that guy's particular point in life.
Smart. Thinking outside the box, this guy here. Cool.
So this really was a nice, easy cosmetic flip. We stained the deck, painted the rails, changed the light fixture, painted the doors, coming into the house, new flooring, trim, paint. We built some custom benches, painted the brick, changed the bathrooms to a more feasible layout, painted stair treads. It is a totally new kitchen. Quartz counter now where it was previously laminate with a nicer sink in there as well too. There was one wall we took down here. It wasn't load bearing. We had it checked. But the problem with that was it actually left us with an air return in the middle of the floor. And we kind of solved that by building a custom wine rack just to hide it, but keep it functional. The backyard here, we kind of designated as Shed City. There was 6 sheds across the whole backyard. Couldn't use anything of it. So we knocked them, emptied them out, knocked them down, put some new dirt and sod in, painted and stained the deck, and it looks pretty good now. So one nice value add here was just the lighting. In this room, there was just one single lamp hanging off the ceiling, and there was all different lamps in the corners. So it was actually Costco. We found these lights. I think they were $80 for 6 of them, but it actually kind of adds value in not so much a dollar sense, but in a wow kind of sense. As you dim them and then turn them back on, they come on as different sets of lights. So when I was having other agents show the house, I would specify, don't turn off the lights, because then people could come in at night and see the lights like this, and it's like, wow, I haven't seen that before. It's just one more thing that separates you from another equivalent house for sale.
Yeah, so then how did you wire all the pot lights in and stuff?
So we had our electrician do it. There was just one single lamp here, and then it's really as easy as just taking power from there, which is on the current switch, and just going from box to box for each pot light. Really very cost effective.
And you mentioned you just put drywall over top of the existing popcorn ceiling that was
there? So there was a popcorn ceiling there, and that's time consuming, a pain in the butt, and dusty to scrape and take all that stuff off. So it's actually sometimes easier just to throw a whole couple new sheets of drywall right over the top, mud them, paint them, and it's actually even quieter than for the level above us.
Yeah, and it makes wiring these things really easy too.
Easier as well too.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So with this house being all value add, we turned it from a 4-bed, 2-bath, 1 kitchen, actually into a 5-bed, 3-bath, 2 kitchen. So this is the basement. It's just a small kitchenette. We kind of planned it for, it was going to be a multi-generational family buying it. We're probably, maybe some elderly parents, or maybe even mom and dad. We're going to be downstairs, and the kids in the main level. It's just an in-law suite. It doesn't have its own entrance. So they can have their own privacy if they want, or if we're gonna have a full family dinner, they can all do that upstairs. So this is actually one of the bedrooms that we added to the apartment. It was completely unfinished before. Finished it, which gave us an extra bedroom in the basement apartment down here. But the really nice thing that we liked about this flip was just the size of these rooms. Like, this is actually a semi-detached property, but there are massive bedrooms, living rooms, kitchens, all that in it, which made it almost a no-brainer that there was definitely some value to be added here. So this is actually one of the original features of this house. Somebody had stuck these mirror tiles on the wall. After we changed some of the finishes around it, we kind of realized it's actually a neat feature on the stairs, so we decided to keep it.
Matt, can you walk us through the numbers on this flip?
Yeah, so the purchase price here was $625 plus legal and land transfer tax, obviously. I think it came down to $66,000 to flip this property, a lot of man hours, but ended up selling for $840,000 9 weeks later. Okay. So I think after everything, I think he was just about $100,000 profit here after everything's said and done.
Wow, so 8-9 weeks you said?
8-9 weeks.
8-9 weeks, and right now it's November 2023. When did you buy it?
I believe we actually closed beginning of September.
Okay, so I think rates have been paused
since
September, right?
Yeah, I think we had 1.25% increase, like 125 basis point increase, okay. But the last one was paused. So we kind of were in a declining market, and he still pulled a good one off here.
Yeah,
was good.
So were you guys worried about that at all?
We were, but it was just, there was so much value that was added to this property, and it was a very, very particular buyer we were going after with the multi-generational stuff. We were just confident enough that we could kind of make it work here.
And that's what you ended up getting, right?
That's exactly what ended up, yeah. So the elderly couple will be in the basement, and then a family with 3 kids will be living up here.
Okay, and is it just from knowing the market that you knew you could probably get that demographic?
Yeah, it is a neighborhood where there's some multi-generational stuff happening. Would be in a smaller town outside of the city. That tends to happen a little bit up here as well too. But it was just a house that really fit that demographic anyways. So we were really confident that this one would really hit well.
Okay. And like, who would you recommend this type of project for? Because, you know, flipping, it's definitely more of a higher risk thing. Even though this was just a cosmetic thing, like, what are your thoughts on that?
It's tricky. There's a lot of unknowns with flipping, especially because how quick you can do it is a really big concern. It's hard to say. It's best for those, I guess, who definitely have some risk tolerance, that are not opposed to doing some of it maybe themselves at the same time. But if someone needs a bit of liquid cash injected into their portfolio, this is kind of a great strategy to kind of add some cash back in where it might take a little bit longer doing long-term rental holds. It might bring some more cash in.
Did you feel comfortable enough, and your client feel comfortable enough doing this because you already had a bunch of other properties under your belt, like a portfolio of assets you've already accumulated, kind of as a backup?
Definitely. I mean, me, myself, I had a couple properties already where I felt I could accurately give this information to my client. He has a couple of businesses and a couple of properties, so he's already kind of been through this and knows a little bit about it himself. This is his first flip, but he was willing to take the advice of Rockstar and just kind of jump in heads first and get into it.
Yeah, cool, man. So any big lesson or takeaway from this project?
Time. How quick you can do it is a big factor in this. And just pick properties that you can add as much value to as possible. Yeah. It's all about the value add, I would say.
And offer to take all the shit out.
And offer to take all the shit out, yeah.
Yeah, cool.